All right, everyone. Beto O'Rourke is off to a wonderful start in his campaign, coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, if you like your AR-15, you can keep it, but we shouldn't be manufacturing more weapons of war." Talk about the most cop-out fucking comment from a politician that we've seen, and it fits exactly in line with my expectations of Beto. The problem is he said some things like he latched onto the new Green Deal before that went sour, by the way, which kind of hurts him. He's gone like far left on some things, but then he waffles or he pretends to be like a bit further right on others. So like on this particular issue, I guess he's trying to have what I think is happening. Hear me out. Is that he's not confident he's going to become the nominee for the presidency. He wants to stay in Texas politics. That's where he lives. It would be a very bad idea to be an anti-gun Texas politician. So if he wants to stay in office, he's basically fucked unless he does this. He has to appease the wider Democratic audience, and like the business Dems and stuff won't have a problem with this comment. The problem is, I just don't see this playing well for him on a national stage. It's like Joe Biden trying to opine on guns. Oh, well, just get a shotgun. Okay, well, yeah, if you get a combat shotgun for self-defense, yeah, for home protection, it'll be quite great. The actual thing is that some of those variants are a lot closer to things used in war than the AR-15, which is something that Joe Biden is too ignorant to understand. The AR-15 is not a weapon of war. The AR-15, which doesn't stand for assault rifle, it stands for Armalite rifle, actually is based on, cosmetically speaking, weapons of war. This is the case with a lot of firearms that are perfectly legal, including weapons of war. 100 years ago, a weapon of war wasn't, this kind of weapon. We were fighting with things at the time. There were still bolt-action rifles that were on the battlefield. Those are weapons of war. In fact, again, in some cases, for certain things, you're sniping someone, you're not using an AR-15 probably. You're using something that packs a little bit more punch. The AR-15's specific kind of ammunition is almost designed to go through a person like Swiss cheese and not cause catastrophic wounding. It's actually meant more to wound the opponent if you're, any good with it whatsoever and like capture them or disable them and shit like that than it is to kill them. In fact, when that switch was fully made, for that particular kind of ammo for the actual military versions, I believe there was a big debate over it specifically because of that when they switched ammo types. So from top to bottom, Beto O'Rourke is completely wrong. The AR-15 that you can purchase, like I can go to the gun shop, I can buy an AR-15. Who fucking cares, dude? How many of them are actually used in shootings anyway? Like, people don't understand. You look at gun crime. You're looking at the tale of two realities. On the one hand, you have, lowburals who say, well, the AR-15 is so big and scary and, can shoot 1,000 rounds a second, crazy shit like that, which is never true. And then you have, sane people who say, look, gun crime in this country is near a 50-year low. Most of it involves single-actor homicide, often gang-related, or suicide, or negligent discharge. Those are all wrapped up under the general banner of gun crime. For gun deaths, a lot of them are suicides. In fact, I think depending on the statistics you're looking at, something like upwards of 30-40%, that's suicide. It's not somebody became violent and inhospitable and decided to go shoot somebody else. They want to kill themselves because they're miserable. Taking the gun out of their hand doesn't take their belt away. It doesn't take a pencil away they might shove through their eye socket. It doesn't take their bottle of aspirin. Look, you can go down to Walgreens if you're really feeling that bad and get a bottle of pills that'll kill you easy. Or if you have a car and an enclosed structure, you can gas yourself to death, or you can hang yourself off a door with your own belt, tie a noose, or a million other things there. Take a bath with the brave little fucking toaster. Yeah, you can kill yourself in many ways. The gun just happens to be less painful and more convenient. So it's almost like an issue of suicide with dignity at that point. The left, they're the only ones that discuss that. I think death with dignity, is a thing here in Vermont now. I think they passed it a couple of years ago. I support assisted suicide, by the way. I think it's crazy that a person who's medically beyond all possible treatment and in severe pain. In some states, they can't kill themselves. They also can't even smoke a joint. The only thing they can do is dope themselves up on morphine or something way more powerful and sort of slide into a coma and die. I think that it's ridiculous. I think that the government at that point is making its own citizens victims, and insofar as it does that, is illegitimate when it does so. Beto is illegitimate as far as his brain function. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't fucking know. oh, the AR-15, a weapon of war, we shouldn't manufacture more of them. I don't care if you keep the ones you've already got. See, he's doing the Clinton shuffle. Clinton did that. Clinton implemented an assault weapons ban, but he didn't grandfather in the existing weapons because there were so many of them. So it didn't do anything. In fact, there were just as many. In fact, it was during a period, I think, where gun crime spiked, actually, under his presidency. It was around, internet starts getting more popularized. There's, I think, a national togetherness after 9/11. Gun crime starts to fall like a rock. When people say we're on the precipice of civil war, I tell them, go look at the gun crime statistics or something like that. Closest this country ever came to that level of stress was really the 90s. The late 80s through the mid 90s is the peak gun crime, peak paranoia. You've got the post-satanic panic. You did, by the way, have the Nazi thing at the time with a lot of public access TV and shit being edgy. The FCC comes in at the end of that era and censors everything. That's really the problem. But Beto would never tackle big issues like that are more convoluted. He just wants to ramble incoherently about things he doesn't really understand. The problem, he doesn't really understand that much of anything. That's about all. Peace out.